This is Vema, Austin Realtor and land developer, here to talk about land and what you need to do when purchasing a piece of property and what you need to look for. So the first step is always to do your research online. Look at the aerial views on Google Maps and Google Earth. Look at like a software like MapRight to get those aerial views. Also look at the zoning and deed restrictions and anything that you can get from the MLS of like what structures are there. And then after that, you need to go and visit the property. There's a number of things you need to look at when looking at a property. You need to walk the land, see what's on the land. Is there a lot of elevation drops? Where are the drainage? Is there any drainage issues on the property? I think there's a number of things that you need to look at. And in particular, is there agricultural exemption on the property? And as you can see from this picture, there are cows on this property, so most likely this property has agricultural exemption. And I really think that's important because if the land is agriculturally exempt, then there's going to be a huge tax break. And when you're holding the land, there won't be a large carrying cost if it's agriculturally exempt. So generally having some type of farm ag exemption or timber or any type of like exemption like that is a big break for you from a tax standpoint and from a carrying standpoint of the land, especially if you're an investor. That can be really valuable. And then when you go to the land, you need to look at like what could you potentially do. Is this land really for like building agriculture? Is the land more for like something that's flat and it could be used for an RV or mobile home park? And that's one aspect you need to look at when looking at land, is if you were going to sell the land yourself 2 or 3 years down the road, who would you be selling it to? Would you be selling it to a farmer? Would you be selling it to a gas station builder? Would you be selling this to an RV builder? There's a number of factors you need to look at. So things when you're looking at those things that are important are, is there highway frontage on the property? How in the area, how are cars driving by it? Those are a number of things. And how big is the piece of property? The bigger the land, the more valuable it is in most cases, especially if you were building for a home subdivision of some kind. So there's just a number of factors. And I can't stress this enough, if you don't have aerial photos already, get them. Whether it's pay some drone photographer or like get a drone and fly it yourself, just do it. It's very difficult to really analyze a piece of property and really see the big scope, especially when it gets over 10 acres, to really get a scope of the land. And aerial photography is great at doing that because you're just able to really see it in one shot, see the entire piece of land and everything on it. And there's things you could point out, like if there's oil wells, what structures are there, where exactly are the rivers exactly, and it gives you just like a good sense of the land itself. And especially if you're listing it, you really do need to have aerial photography. And I can't stress that enough because just like in residential real estate, pictures really matter. So this is just a couple of things that I look at when I go out on site and look at a property. So I advise anyone, whether it's a realtor or a potential buyer, to really go out and look at these things on a property. And the last thing I forgot to mention is go to the property multiple times. See who the neighbors are next to the property. What is the weather like and how does that affect the land of it when you go in different times, whether you go at day or you go at night, whether it's rainy or it's sunny. Go multiple times to the property and just kind of see if things change on the property. So this is Vema signing out. Please like and subscribe as I'm going to have more videos coming soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.